Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. So in the original text, the paragraph number 21. So it and dukkha and yoniso manasik karoti. Okay. Dukkha niro, dukkha samudaya, dukkha nirodha, dukkha nirodha kamani parivarani, yoniso manasik karoti. Tassa evo yoniso manasik karoto. When he attends wisely like this, tini sanyojanani bahiyandi. So in that paragraph, you will see the yogi, he contemplates or he understands dukkha satya, samudaya satya, nirodha satya. So after understanding dukkha satya, samudaya satya, nirodha satya, he eradicates three sanyojanas. Sakaya Deity Vijikecha Sila Prapramasa. And the next sentence is Ime Ojani Bhikkhave Asawa Dasana Bahadaba. O monks, these asawas can be abandoned by the seeing. When you look at the original text, Yoniso Manasi Karoti, Dukkha Yoniso Manasi Karoti, Dukkha Samudaya, Dukkha Nirodha, Dukkha nirodha kamini parivara. So how does he attend so wisely those four noble truths? How does he understand? How does he penetrate those four noble truths? After understanding, after penetrating these four noble truths, how does he remove three sanyojanas or maybe asavas? We need to connect, because the Buddha expounded briefly. Here in this paragraph, we need to know some missing links. The Buddha didn't mention, our Buddha didn't mention those missing links because the listeners, they understand what the Buddha means at the time. Now for us, Ida and Dukkha and Yoniso Manasik Karoti, how do we advance wisely? This is the dukkha, this is the origin of the dukkha, this is the cessation of the dukkha. This is the path leading to the cessation of Buddha, dukkha. How can we contemplate? So what kind of contemplation is called Yoniso Manasik Karoti? Okay, the next point, after contemplation wisely, how someone eradicates those three sanyojanas. In what stage the person removes or abandons the three sanyojanas and asavas. These links can be understood only through commentary. Yesterday, I explained about important paragraph of the commentary. So in the paragraph number 21, so ida dukkha ni yoniso manasik karoti di adisupana ayam atha vibhavana. So charusaja kamathani ko ariya savako tana veja devu moga khanda dukkha. You see? So Yoniso Manasik Karoti attends so wisely started with the learning from the teacher. He has to learn how to develop Charusaja Kamathana. So what is Charusaja Kamathana? By developing such a meditation, one can perceive, understand the Four Noble Truths. The meditation method or meditation technique which makes someone to understand, to comprehend the Four Noble Truths is called Chatusajja Kammatthana. So in every step of the Vipassana meditation, the Four Noble Truths should be understood. So Vipassana meditation method's purpose is to understand the Four Noble Truths. Every Vipassana jnanas, Uriyabhaya jnana, Samasana jnana, Uriyabhaya, Bhenga, Bhaya, and so on. All of the jnanas are actually, they just see only the rising and disappear of mind and matter, but they understand the Four Noble Truths. So in the Bhupa Bhaga Mega, the yogi must understand the Four Noble Truths. Otherwise, he cannot attain Lokuttara Megas. So here, in this paragraph, I wanted to connect this commentary explanation to the original text. Commentary in the original text, Dukkha, the Ida and Dukkha and Yoniso Manasik Karoti. So how someone develops Chatusajja Kammatthana, the commentator explains from the very beginning. At first, he will understand, he will learn Chatusajja Kammatthana, meditation on the Four Noble Truths. After learning from his teacher, Vipassana Mega Samarano Samana, then he climbs or he determines, he contemplates Vipassana Mega, the path of insight meditation. He practiced the path of insight meditation, Vipassana Mega Samarano. So according to this sentence, at the moment, he attains some Vipassana jnanas. He is not beginner anymore. Vipassana Mega Samarana. According to that sentence, we should understand, at the moment the yogi attains some Vipassana jnanas. Then he Samana Haradi, Ida and Dukkha and Yoniso Manasik Karoti. Yam Samuriyo Yoniso Manasik Karoti, Dukkha Niroda Paribadari Yoniso Manasik Karoti. Tatraya Upayo. Tatraya Upaya, this is the method. Upaya here means a method or technique. Abhini Vizonama with the Nati. So now Abhini, what is Abhini Visa also I have explained it yesterday. So what is technique? The method which develops inside meditation. At first, he has to understand, contemplate the four elements. Ati ima samainkaye, patavi dhatu, abo dhatu, tejo dhatu, vayo dhatu. Chadari Buddha ni tadanusarena upada rupani japreke hitawa. Yam Rupa Khandori Wawatabedi. Yesterday I explained very extensively how to understand Patavidadu and so on. How to understand Nama Khanda, or otherwise Arupa Khandas. Virina Khanda, Sanya Khanda, Sangara Khanda, Vijnana Khanda. Then we will continue Sankhepada Nameja Rupenjari Dvi Bhaga Ye Wahondi. Irenja Nama Rupam Sahedu Sabbijayam Obijati Tasa Ayahedu Ayam Bijayodi Awija Bawadana Kamaharadi Hedu Baji Wawatabedi. He determines this is the cause of those Nama, those Rupa. So the causes are Avija Bawadana Kama Ahara. The dot days and Pejaya Ninja, Pejupana Dama Ninja. Yata was Sarasa Lakana, Wawutabedawa. E Medama, Ahodawa Hondi, and Naja Lakana Arobedi. Arobedi we can translate put on, no? To put on. Udabaya Pati Pilata, Udabaya Pilitata, Dokha, the Doka Lakana Arobedi. Awasa Wudanado, another Lakana Arobedi. Ewan Dini Lakanani Arobedowa. Pati Badia, Vipassana Powutendo, Sotapatti Megam Papunati. Okay, the new words we will see. So Lakhana is characteristics. The characteristics are Lakhana, Yathawa, Sarasa, Lakhana. What would be determined? What would be determined? Pilita, for the new beginning of the Pali students. Pilita. Oppressed or tormented. Pilitata. Padipadiya, according to the order. Bring about poverty. Having never been before, Ahautowa. Hautowa Badiwendi, also now in the other text you can see. Badiwendi is a disappear. Sambawendi appear or rise. Because this paragraph is very important for meditation practice. Because of this, we need to analyze in detail. At the same time, it is also, without understanding this commentary explanation, I think in the paragraph number 21, Idam dukkha yoniso manasikaro dukkha samudaya, and so on. This paragraph cannot be understood properly. Okay. So Pajjaya and Pajjayopana. Pajjaya is cause, Pajjayopana is result, effect, cause and effect. So I was a witness. I was a witness, they don't become as we want them to be. I was a witness. So, simply translate them, they don't follow our wish. What is they? Nama and Rupa Dhammas, 5 aggregates. The 5 aggregates don't become as we want those 5 aggregates to be. Otherwise, also in the way, we want them to be. Okay, now we will see original text, the dot after that. Tesam Pijjaya Ninja, Pijjayopana Dhamma Ninja, Yatawa Sarasa Lakana. What would have been the one? Imidama Ahudawa Hondi. Anija lakana arobedi. Uriya baya pilita da dukkha lakanam arobedi. I was a woodenado, another lakanam arobedi. So arobedi is the main verb. Arobedi puts on. Who puts on? Who makes up? Riya Sawako. He puts on Anija Lakanam, characteristic of impermanence. How? So whenever you see the ed here, it is similar to, adverbial clause in English. How? How he puts on those characteristics of impermanence. Imedama ahudawa hondi. Those dhammas rise having never been before. Now look at also hudawa patiwandi. After being, having been, they disappear. Hudawa ahudawa hondi, hudawa patiwandi. The dot desam Pajjaya Ninja, Pajjayopana Dhamma Ninja. After that, what would happen to what do you see? He determines, After that, he determines, he puts on. How many actions? 2 actions. How many gerund forms? 1. What would happen to what? Arobedi. He determines and he puts on. What is the object of the Vavutabidawa? Yatawa Sarasa Lakkhana. He determines true function and characteristics of them, of what? Pichya ninja, Pichupana, Dhamma ninja. So Pichya, Pichupana, Avijja, Pichya, Sankhara, Avijja is Pachya, Sankhara is Pachupana. Avijja, Pichya, Sankhara. So cause and effect. So he determines true function, the true as they are, it means, as they truly are, He determines function and the characteristic of Pachayas, Pachayopanas, as they truly are. So, and then what he understands, what he does put on, he puts on Anicca Lakkhana, characteristic of impermanence. How does he put on Anicca Lakkhana? Ahudawa, ime dhamma. Ahudawa, hondi underline. Ime dhamma, ahudawa, hondi. Hondi, subject of the hondi is ime dhamma. Ime dhamma, ahudawa, hondi. Those dhammas rise, having never been before. Hudawa, patiwandi, having been, they disappear. So that is, one simile. So when someone plays lute or maybe, violin, or when he plays a violin, at that time, he needs to use some instruments, some tools, some, maybe sometimes also like an iron stick or something like this. He needs to use. Maybe somewhere, if someone plays drum, he needs to use some, the handles and, the drum. So before he plays those drums, the sound is not stored in somewhere place. Because of drum, because of the effort of the player, because of the tool, the sound is produced. Before this sound happened, nowhere this sound has been stored. This sound has never existed in somewhere else. Because of conditions, though this sound rises, which means ahudawa hondi, having never been before, they rise. So after playing the drum, then the sound disappears. After becoming hudawa, they disappear, hudawa patiwandi. If you believe the sound is already stored in somewhere else, it will be adamant, adaditi. After playing, the sound is existed somewhere else. If you believe like this, it is also adaditi. So according to the Vipassana meditation, in our body, the rupas, materialities are always new. So new rupa materialities arise and disappears, then some other new materialities rise and disappears. Nothing is old. Because according to the Vipassana meditation, according to Abhidhamma, the old ones are already disappeared. They are not stored in somewhere else. So when the one rupa disappears, but this rupa conditions the appearance of another rupa, another materiality. But the original, the old one is disappears, but the old one, he leaves some causes to produce another one. To understand that, the Buddha explained in the Patthana. According to the Patthana, according to the 24 Pachayas, the things, when the something disappears, but this something makes condition for rising of the other thing. This is we call the Pachayas. So the materialities in our body, they disappear all the time. They appear and disappear. But the old one never comes back. The old one disappears. This old one makes condition for rising of another one. This one also already disappear, and that one also makes a condition for rising of another one. Because of this, in the Visuddhi Magga, in the Parisamita Magga, in the canonical text, when the Buddha expounded Udayabhaya, these two sentences are used. Ahauttawa Sambondi, Hauttawa Patiwandi. These two sentences are very important to understand the Udayabhaya Jnana. Ahauttawa Sambondi, Ahauttawa Hondi, Hauttawa Patiwandi. So Udayabhaya Pili Tatta Dukkha, the Dukkha Lakkhana Arobeti. He puts on characteristic of the suffering. How? This is Dukkha. Pili Tatta. Pili Tatta, what kind of word? Past participle. Dukkha Pili Tatta, how do you make Vegha? Ryan, can you do the Udayabhaya Pili Tatta? Can you do Udayabhaya Pilita? So Pilita is passive past participle. Udayabhayena or Udayabhayehi Pilita, Udayabhaya Pilita, Udayabhayena, Udayabhayehi Pilito, Udayabhaya Pilito, Udayapilita sa bhavo. Uriya Pilitatta. That's my Uriya Pilitatta, according to the Pali grammar. Pilitatta is ablative case. Do you do or because of this? So because of tormented by rising and disappearing, it is suffering dukkha. So what is the dukkha? I'm painful. It is not just dukkha, It is a very visible suffering, very visible dukkha. But real dukkha, so like in the Four Noble Truths, the dukkha sajja is understood how. This is a dukkha sajja because I'm painful. Painful is the secondary one. The original one is Udayabhayehi Pilitatta. It is suffering because it is tormented by the rising and disappearing. Udayabhaya Pilitatta Dukkha, the Dukkha Lakkhana Arobeti. Avasa Vaddanato, Anatta, the Anatta Lakkhanam Arobeti. He puts on characteristic of the Anatta. How? Avasa Vaddanato Anatta. Because they don't become in the way we want them to be. Otherwise, because they don't follow our wish. What are they? Who are they? Nama and Rupa. So do you think they follow your wish or not? How? We want to be young forever, but we are not young anymore. We want to be healthy all the time, but this Nama Rupa don't follow our wish. So we want medicate ourselves with the different kinds of medicines. We want to keep our life a long time, but when it is time to die, and then we will die. We want to be always healthy, but we are sick. So, when the season is to change, this is, in Myanmar, from the rainy season to the winter season, usually, sneezing, coughing. Sometimes you may be caught cold. After winter season, then it will be changed into the summer. Between, the change between these two seasons also, sometimes you will be sneezing or you will be cough. The body is very sensitive, to the change of the weathers. So when you sit a long time, you are painful, your legs are numb. When you lie down the whole day, 24 hours, I think after a long time, you are, back will be, how to say, they call it, some kind of swollen, because of heat. So this body, actually, we follow this body. This body doesn't follow us. When it is painful, and we change our postures. Sometimes also in the world, pandemic rise, like a COVID-19. Then, like the people are running from here and there. Sometimes the bad days come. Then we run from here and there. Then we die, finish. That we are born again in the new life. Then we experience such a surprise again. The body, nowadays there are more diseases, cancers. Cancers of the different types. We don't want to have the cancer, but sometimes the cancer very secretly, come into our life. Then, after some years, we die. Even though we do the medications, but the medication could not save us. So this body changes according to its own wish. It is it doesn't follow our wish. It is called in the Bali, Dr.Nodhiñāna, you see. It is anatta. In the other canonical text, in the Brisamida Mega, it is also called the Parato. What is that? Parato. Parato means a stranger, The body is like a stranger to us. We love them, we love our body, we care, but they don't love us, They don't care us. They are like strangers. Even though we take care of them, he doesn't take care of us. Parato. This term is, I like it, Parato, avadato, because the body is full of disease. Avadato. Wadagato. This body is the killer, If you don't want to kill, if you don't want to die, as long as you have the body, we will die. So who is the killer? Not disease, not anywhere. The body itself is the killer. Because of the body we have, then we are cured. If we don't have the body, we are not cured. No body, no nama rupa, it means nibbana. No, we are not cured. At the time, no, we, no us. So, Wadagato, Parato, they are completely strangers. So ours are Dr.Nodhiñāna, anatta, and ours are Dr.Nodhiñāna, anatta, the anatta lakanam, aropedi. Okay, I want to do that sentence. To do this and Pachayaneja. Okay, now here Yathawa Sarasa Lakana, which means Lakana Rasa Pijupatana Pratana of the Rupa and Arupa Dhamas. Like, for example, Patavi Dadu, the yogi must know Patavi has characteristic of hardness. Okay? So Abodhadu characteristic of flowing. So Tejo Dhatu characteristic of heat and cold. So Vayo Dhatu characteristic of expansion. So the yogi should understand the characteristic of the nature of those nama rupa dhammas. At first he has to distinguish Lakkhana rasa, Pijupatana, at least Lakkhana is okay, Lakkhana and functions. Characteristic and function. This characteristic of function also, it should be not falsely, not going to the imagination. It must be true, real. The true real is called Yathawa. Yathawa Sarasa Lakkhana. They are true nature. What is the Batavi? Batavi Dhatu is no earth. Batavi Dhatu is no rock. Batavi Dhatu is no tree. But in the tree, in the earth, in the rock, there is hardness. That hardness is called Batavi Dhatu. If one understands the Batavi Dhatu, earth element, he eradicates the concept of personality. I or we or you or me. He understands the nature of the nama also, Phassa, Phusana, Lakkhana, the characteristic of contact. So when we see the visible objects, there arises Phassa. Without Phassa, you cannot see. You cannot, eye consciousness, when the eye consciousness rises, Phassa, it is, the main job of the main job of the nama dhammas. One of the main jobs of nama dhammas is contact object. Contact object also, sometimes it is very clear. I will, give you simile, we have the small television. Someone has a very big television with the 4K, videos. When you look at the pictures in the small TVs, the form is not so clear. We don't remember, easily when we think about it later. But when you look at the very big television, and then with the very clear pictures, so like a Vedana, happiness or unhappiness, more clear, more obvious. When you see with the small picture, with the dim pictures, Vedana is not clear. So, Vedana is, the feeling. Feeling is strong or weak is determined by the Phassa. When the Phassa is stronger, the feeling is also very strong. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, now I will give you again the examples, and I have already given to you the story of the Oma Dandi, Oma Dandi, do you remember? She is so beautiful. Whoever sees her will be crazy and mad, forget what to do. So this, are the visible object. The beauty is so clear, so beautiful. When this visible object strikes the eyes, the Phassa is so strong. When the Phassa is so strong, Vedana feeling also becomes very, very powerful. When the Vedana becomes very powerful, Tanha also very powerful. Craving, attachment became very powerful. Because the Tanha or craving is so powerful, this king, he cannot remember anything. He said, if I cannot die, if I cannot get this Oma Dandi, I will die. So Phassa is so, the impact of the Phassa also should be remembered. Like when you stay in the 5-star hotels, they prepare very good Phassa, everywhere in the rooms, in the chair, whatever you eat, the food also gives you very good Phassa. Because of very good Phassa, we have the very good Vedana. The Vedana is so strong. Sukha Vedana is so powerful. Because when the Vedana is so powerful, craving or attachment also becomes very powerful. So Phassa is how to say, very important factor to produce very strong feelings. So Bhasa's characteristic contact, Vedana's characteristic feeling, Sanya's characteristic perceiving, like such a characteristic of each nama dhamma, rupa dhamma, at first he has to understand. In the Pali it is said yathawa sarasa lakhanam vavatabhitawa. Okay? So now commentator, the commentary gives us a technique systematically how to develop inside meditation. So in the Pali is a Dhamma language, If someone studies Pali without Dhamma, it doesn't make sense. Some, scholars, they study the Pali just from purely academic point of views, like a purely, language. It cannot give them, true information of the Dhamma. They could not understand the Dhamma. Because wherever we study the Pali, our Pali study should be together with the Dhamma, because it is originally Dhamma language. Just to see, you look at Yatava Sarasa Lakana, what would have finished, having determined the true, function and the characteristic of those Pajya and Pajyopana. No, going to the grammatical study, we finished at the point. So according to the Dhamma study, we, understand Yathawa, what is the Yathawa, how? What is the Rasa, what is the Lakana, what is the Pajya, what is the Pajyopana, how such a study, such a knowledge develop in ourselves. This is a way of learning the Pali according to the Dhamma. So because of this, even when I teach in the ITBM, the Pali, but sometimes I give extra information about the Dhamma, why I'm teaching the Pali to the students. Because without Dhamma, Pali doesn't make sense. With the Dhamma, Pali language is so interesting, so, liberated language. It is, we cherish this language. We treasure this language because this is the language, the only language in the world which gives us information about the Dhamma. No other language can give us the Dhamma knowledge. So because of this, why we are learning now, I also give you Dhamma knowledge together with the Pali grammar. Tadodesa Pijya Ninja, Pijyopana Dhamma Ninja, Yathawa Sarasa Lakana, Vavatabhitawa, Ime Dhamma Ahudawa Hondi, the Anija Lakanam, Arabedi. According to the grammar, Ahudawa have been never be before they arise. Hodawa Badi when they have been, they disappear. Now finish your grammar's task. After translating like this, the duty of the grammar finished. The next step is the duty of the Dhamma, Dhamma knowledge. So if you study the Pali with the Dhamma, the most interesting language in the world, because every word give us very, very subtle, a deep meaning. Why we are learning, we are so happy. Like Yathawa Sarasa Lakana, what would have been? So now we understand. The yogi is practicing meditation. He contemplates on the in-breathing or out-breathing, or maybe rising and falling of the abdomen, or maybe he is aware of every thought, every motion of his body. Why he is practicing again and again, after some hours, after some 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, or he understands directly. This is Phasa is, no, I am touching. It is the characteristic of contact. This is a Patui Dhatu, this is a no I. Now we are moving, we are walking, this is a no I who is walking, this is a Vayo Dhatu is walking. Now we, lift up our legs. So the leg is, raised up. So raising is the work of the Tejo Dhatu. Now we, direct our leg to another, place, another distance. we, the move straight. It is the work of the Vayodhatu. When we, touch to the ground with our foot, this is, the work of the Abodhatu. When we touch the ground, we feel the hardness. This hardness, Pathuidhatu. This is a working of the Pathuidhatu, Abodhatu, Dejodhatu, Vayodhatu. If someone understands like this, at the moment, there is no concept of I or we or you or man or woman. If he sees directly Pathuidhatu, later when his concentration becomes deeper and deeper, he will understand, he will see rising and disappearing of the Pathuidhatu. I mean the Udiyabaya Lakana. Pathuidhatu is rise, Pathuidhatu disappears. Abodhatu, even though this is the working of the Pathui, Abo, Dejodhatu, Vayodhatu, those dhatus are never stay the same, never remain the same. They never exist forever. One Pathuidhatu appears and then disappear. If you understand like this, at that time you understand Anicca Lakkhana. Then you understand this body, this aggregates always tormented us with the rising and disappearing, so fast, so quickly, we don't have any rest. If we really see that true nature, at the moment, the life is so, flickering, rising, disappearing. Like when they see, look at the cars when they are driving, the pistons, falling down, falling, rising. So this, nature, without stopping until we die. This nama, rupa, dhamma, so rising, falling. After seeing that nature, the yogi understands, this is a dukkha. Udiyabaya pilitata dukkha. So this, we cannot stop that. Okay, don't rise, don't disappear, don't rise, don't disappear. We cannot say. We don't want these Pathui Abodhis, or we don't want them to rise, or we don't want them to disappear. But they, they appear, they disappear according to their own nature. They don't follow our wish. It is called avasa vadana, anatta. Anicca Lakkhana, dukkha Lakkhana, anatta Lakkhana understood by the yogi. So this is explained by the commentary now. So even Tini Lakkhana Arobitawa, having put on 3 characteristics, okay? Patipadiya Vipassana Bhuttendo. So he just only show Nama Rupa Pariccheda Jnana only, and the Samasana Jnana only. After the Samasana Jnana, Patipadiya, according to the order, he brings about Vipassana Jnana. Finally, he attains Sotapaddi Magga. He reached Sotapaddi Magga. So the commentary explains the technique how to develop from the Nama Rupa Pariccheda Jnana up to the Sotapaddi Magga Jnana. If you want to have a more detailed explanation, you can study later the Visuddhi Magga, Ewan Dini Lakkhana Arobitawa. Patipadiya Vipassanam Bhuttendo Sotapaddi Maggam Pabunadi. After having put on 3 characteristics, Bhuddhedi, what is the meaning of Bhuddhedi? He brings about Vipassana Jnana. Vipassana means here knowledge of insight meditation. Vipassana Jnana according to the order. According to the order means that you cannot skip them, Even though someone attains the Sotapaddi Magga Jnana, Sakaragami Magga Jnana, after a while he was listening, to the Dhamma. Vipassana Jnana, the procedure, the process of Vipassana Jnana not skipped, because it is so fast. Maybe we may skip, Samasana Jnana, you cannot skip. At first, it came from the very beginning, Namarupa Pariccheda Jnana. Pajjaya Parikha Jnana. Here look at. Okay? Sankhepado Namenja Rubinja Dwi Bhaga Yewa Hondi, which means Nama Rupa Prechiranyana. Idinja Nama Rupam Sahedu Sapijayam Obichati. Tasa Ayan Hedu Ayan Pijayodi. Awaja Bawatana Gama Haradige Hedu Pajaye, Wawitabedi Pachaya Pregahanyana. Okay, Pachaya Pregahanyana. Nama Rupa Prechiranyana. I have written down Nama Rupa Prechiranyana in the whiteboard. No, I have already written down Nama Rupa Prechiranyana, Pachaya Pregahanyana. Now, Dini Lakanani Arobitava is Samasananyana. We understand like this the whole paragraph. Okay, how to get the Nama Rupa Prechiranyana? Okay, he explains. Ati Imasamekaya Patuidadu Abur and so on, we have already studied. This is a how. So without Namarupa Prechiranyana, you cannot attain Pechya Preghanyana. Without knowledge of the Pechya Preghanyana, you cannot attain Samasananyana. I mean you cannot understand three characteristics. To understand the three characteristics, you must have known at first Nama and Rupa and their causes. Without knowledge of the Nama Rupa, you cannot understand rising and falling. Okay, you may know rising and falling of your abdomen. What I mean is a rising and disappearing of Nama Rupa. Rupa is Rupa Khana, Nama is Vedana. If you don't know Vedana, how to know rising and disappearing of Vedana? You cannot know. If you don't know the Sanya, how do we know rising and disappearing of Sanya? We cannot know. This is a very logical. The first yogi should know Nama Rupa, should distinguish what is Nama, what is Rupa. So even though he knows Nama and Rupa, he doesn't stop at the stage. He has to find out what is the cause of Nama, what is the cause of Rupa. But if he doesn't know that the cause of Rupa, the cause of Rupa, and then he may misunderstand this Nama Rupa may be created by the eternal, Lady or God, maybe, So to eradicate Isra Nemana, in the Bali, Isra Nemana means created by the Creator God. To eradicate the Creator God's creation, the yogi must understand what is the cause of Nama and Rupa. Okay, after understanding the cause of Nama and Rupa, at that time he can remove 16 kinds of Vijikesha. Okay? How many kinds of Vijikesha? Okay, now can you still remember then? Please recite for me. Okay, now for the Anagata. So in the Anagata, it is a Bhavisami. Kainuko Bhavisami, Anagata Madana. Katanuko. Kain Bhavisami, Kainuko Bhavisami, Anagata Madana. Okay, now Bichupana. Okay, now say in English, MR. Okay, anyway, now 16 Vijikeshas. That this 16 Vijikeshas has been removed by understanding the causes of Nama and Rupa, Sabbijaya, Sahetu. So after that, Now, the yogi understands three characteristics of nama and rupa. Samasana jnana. After the samasana jnana, uriyabhaya jnana, benga jnana. Okay, now, even though you are diploma students, you just learned the Buddhism in Myanmar, only 6 months, 4 months, but, according to this class, I have written down, like 10 vipassana jnanas. You need to know 10 vipassana jnanas just by name, because many times I will make reference to these 10 vipassana jnanas. Okay, now can you recite? Samasana jnana, Namarupa Paricheda jnana, now only this, the student from this side. Namarupa Paricheda jnana. Only the diploma students, other senior students, they have already know. Only the diploma students. Okay. But there are two more knowledges, Nama Rupa Paricheda jnana. Have you seen that? Nama Rupa Paricheda jnana. Pichya Bregaha jnana. Even though we could not remember 7 Visuddhis for the beginners, now we need to know at least 2 Visuddhis. Deity Visuddhi, Kinkhavitarana Visuddhi. So, the first jnana we need to develop is Nama Rupa Paricheda jnana. And then Paccaya Parigaha jnana. And then Samasana jnana. Now Uriyabhaya jnana, okay. Okay, now we will continue to the next sentence. Dasmaikani Jadari Sajani, Eka Padi Vedini, or Padi Vejati. At the moment, he penetrates or comprehends, Padi Vejati, comprehends. Padi Vejati also we translate the penetrates, but not to repeat English word, I will use to. Padi Vejati comprehends. Eka pati vedeniwa, with a single penetration. Eka pati vedeniwa, with a single penetration. Otherwise, also we can translate he penetrates with a single comprehension. Pati vejati, what is the object of the pati vejati? Chattari Sajani, the Four Noble Truths. At the moment he comprehends the Four Noble Truths with a single penetration. He penetrates with a single comprehension. Eka Abhisamayena, Abhisamedi, Pati basically the same meaning. But Abhisamedi comprehends truly. comprehends truly. He comprehends with a single comprehension, single penetration. Dukkam prajna privedena privajati. Samudayam pahana privedena nirodham sachikiriya privedena magam bhavana privedena. Yesterday I talked about these, the Padivedas. Prajna, what is the meaning of prajna? Full understanding. So he understands, he comprehends, he penetrates suffering, dukkha, with the comprehension of penetration of full understanding. Pahana Priveda, with the penetration of abandonment. Sachikiriya Privedena, with the penetration of realization. Bhavana Privedena, with the penetration of development. Priveda, penetration. Penetration of full understanding, penetration of abandonment, penetration of realization, penetration of development. He comprehends penetration, a single penetration. Ega abhisamena abhisamedi, he comprehends truly with a single true comprehension. He penetrates dukkha with the penetration, he comprehends dukkha with the penetration of full understanding. He comprehends samudaya with the penetration of abandonment. He comprehends nirodha with the penetration of realization. He comprehends mega with the penetration of development. Okay, let's stop here for this one. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.